Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I do. So, everybody, we have a famous celebrity DJ in the house. So, today, for you all tuning in for the first time, I'm Dr. Tommy, better known as Amma Abba. So, this is the Wellness and Wahala podcast where we talk about wellness issues and current affairs. Wahala. So, the topic today is reshaping from the ground up in a
Mhm.
new Nigeria and size. And we have a expert in the house, DJ DeeMoney. How you day?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Oh, I'm good. So let them know who you be. You're award-winning DJ. You do a lot of great things. You have great mixes on Apple Music, on all the music outlets. You have live shows, virtual live DJ shows, especially during this lockdown. So let
Yes.
them know who you be.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you very much for allowing me to be on this amazing platform. I see what you do, so congratulations to all your achievements, both home and abroad. I
Thank
definitely
you.
follow your movement, and you're definitely an inspiration to this generation and the generation coming up. So thank you very, very much for having me. All right.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor.
Definitely. So, well, my name is DJ D Money,
Yes, sir.
based in Chicago. I grew up in Nigeria, born in Chicago, but I grew up in Nigeria. My high school was in Nigeria, but came out here 98, January 98. So I did my college here, my undergrad, and
Okay.
I got my master's degree as well in business administration. So along the when guys were going to school now, we picked up this whole DJing thing, and I've always been passionate about music,
Yes.
and I don't watch TV. I may probably watch the news, but if you tell me to, hey, D Money, go watch this movie, I'm not gonna watch it. But if you give me music, what I mean? Every time I'm feeling
Yes.
down, music does it for me. So I picked up DJing about, I'd say 19, 20 years ago.
Hey, 2 decades in the game.
Yeah. I picked up DJing while I was going to school out here, and I didn't think it would be as big as it is now. I thought it was just one of those things that you pick up this hobby, and after a while you just leave it alone and move on to other things. But when we started, it felt like you're making money doing what you're passionate about, which is very important to everybody. Whatever you're doing, whatever you want to make money doing, you got to be passionate about it. You just cannot just pick
Mm-hmm.
it up because. So for me, I was passionate about DJing, and man, you name it all. I've DJed all over Chicago. When I first started, it was kind of hard for me to get in because I felt
Okay.
like the people that I was reaching out to, they had their own base, that they were their own, maybe cousins or their own network that they wanted to put on. So for me, my key was, I determined my foundation, and me being Nigerian, I felt like I shouldn't try to reach out to these other people who already got their network of people that they want to work with. I should
Right.
just tap into my own network, and my network was Nigerians. And once I did that, I began to expand, and here I am today, many 20 years later. I've done it
Nice.
all, traveled around the world through DJing, met some amazing people, you know. I've done it all.
Yes, you're blessed. You're blessed. So you
Yeah,
Afro fusion. You've been doing it 20 years. It was even before people knew about Afrobeat music. Now it's big old. You know what I'm saying? But like
definitely.
10, 20 years ago, people know where to they happen. Do you understand?
Yeah, yeah,
So it's you DJs like you that have really pushed, what I'm saying, Afrobeat to the world per se.
definitely.
You
Yeah.
understand? And especially in Chicago, like the local radios, like the hip hop radio stations, the FM radios, you really like, go above and beyond. So can you talk about that? Like how, you were really one of the trailblazers, to bring Afrobeat to the mainstreams now. You know what I'm saying? It's cool now, but back then it don't be like that.
They like that, right? So back then, obviously Afrobeat wasn't as big as it is now right now, but back then we had a few tracks here and there that we played at events back then. But My brother DJ 3K and I, we created this amazing movement about 10-15 years ago. About
Yes.
10-15 years ago, the Nigerian Coalition of Nigerian DJs Worldwide. We thought
Nice.
it was important to bring a lot of the Nigerian DJs around the world together so that we can create this movement that can push the Afrobeat music. You know what I mean? And one of the tools that we had was we were that source for the music. We created what we call, before we created a record pool. A
Mm-hmm.
record pool is a tool that allows DJs to go to this website and they download all the hot new Afrobeat tracks. But before we did that, we had a lot of the emails for the DJs, and anytime we get emails from a lot of the record labels, or we get songs that we feel we need to push, we send them through the emails. So we had a lot of emails of different DJs from around the world. I mean, in Nigeria, we were servicing DJs in Nigeria to you name it, around the world basically. But so when we figured that we were going really big, we felt like, okay, it's time for us to create a website that we can also service the DJs. So the website, it was called Niger DJs Record Pool, and that pool was where we updated a lot of DJs around the world. And we also had events as well. We had the Nigerian DJ Summer Jam that went on for like 10 years, where we go to different cities in the States to do, parties here and there. And that was an avenue where we brought on, a lot of upcoming artists and established artists to come on and perform. So the Nigerian DJ Summer Jam was something that we were looking forward to every year. And that was a huge platform to promote the movement. So in a nutshell, the creation of the coalition of Nigerian DJs, and the record pool, the summer jam that we did back then, and I think I'm the Nigerian DJ that has the most mixtapes online. I've been posting mixtapes online since 2002, and to date, I believe I have over 600 mixes online.
Hey,
over
600.
Yes.
Yes. You've been doing it. And then, I love what you said, that is your compassion for music, which really, moved you to action. And your brother DJ 3K, partnering with other DJs across the world.
Right.
So it's the power of partnership that really makes an impact. So when they see, Afrobeat, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes.
Right.
So big ups to that. And music, is an international, I always say, is a love language. I might not know your native tongue,
right,
but you put on some good music, everybody go calm down.
Absolutely.
So and that takes us to even this, NSARS protests and the police brutality in Nigeria, and a lot of musicians and DJs, both back at home and in the diaspora. I think you guys really did a great job bringing, the hashtag NSARS movement really to the forefront. So talk more about that, like the power of music and how it's able to give a voice to people, and even motivate people during protests. When you out on the street, you hungry, you tired, but you put on some good jams, you have a DJ at the protest at the front line, it turns up the vibes. So talk more about that.
The inside is unfortunate that it had to come to that. It had to come to protest. It had to come to people getting killed. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate. But over the years, there's been a lot of artists that have been creating songs that are songs that talk about what's going on in Nigeria, from the police brutality to the government corruption. And during the EdSAS protest, a lot of these songs just come on, and it kind of ignites the fire, it ignites the frustration that people have been going through for so many years when they hear a lot of these songs. So a lot of artists and the type of songs that they release has a huge impact on the youths, and how they feel like they've been treated, from, again, like the NSAS. There's this song by African China called Mr. President that talks about police brutality. There's a song by Idris Abdul Karim that's called Nigeria Jaga Jaga. These are songs that have stood the test of time. A lot of these songs are over 10-15 years old, even with Fela, a lot of songs that
but still relevant
exactly. So yeah.
I think that is hot. So, and just the power of music to just tell a story historically,
Mm-hmm.
and it shows like, where we've come from and then where we still need to make progress in areas. So just like you said, people have been singing about this 10, 15, 20 years, even more,
Absolutely.
So, but I think this time, what has really made it change is that, our parents' age, people were scared. So when you even get people to sing like Fela's mother, they killed her, they'll assassinate you, and then they put fear
Right.
into the society. So people are in fear mode, and and then their rights, they're afraid to stick up for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But now people were like, enough is enough.
Yeah.
I think our generation of youths are doing things quite differently. Just like you said, Afro beats, and African music has been around for a very long time. But
Mm-hmm.
why is it our generation? You know what I'm saying? That's really making it global.
Abs-
So you have the power of technology,
Absolutely.
social media. So there's other ways, where we can reach a global audience
Mm-hmm.
where our parents before did not have that access. So back in the days, if you want to go to the media, they can shut you down. But if you're in social media, it can go viral. So they can't shut that
Right.
down.
Right.
So what do you think like are the next steps? You know what I'm saying? That we can push, like go from protest to really make progress to reform Nigeria. Like, do you see like some, even like the DJs, musicians, some of the celebrities, like some of you guys can be great, political leaders. I know a lot of you guys run away from politics,
Mm-hmm.
but to really make sustainable change, you need to affect policies. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, and if we want to make a huge impact, we need to be able to put our people there. So, and I know that you're well connected. You understand?
I mean,
very,
the thing is,
very, very well connected. Your network of people. So, you guys should be appointing who go take over all 36 states in Nigeria. So, wait till they happen. What's the next step?
look, I mean, there are people who have influences, but are they, because I'm the type of person, like, if I'm not passionate about, if I don't have the resources to do something, or if I don't have the technicality, I'm not going to put myself in a situation whereby, it's going to be challenging and it's going to tell on my work. But if there are people that I feel like they can do it, I would give them my support 100%. 2023, I believe, is the next presidential elections in Nigeria.
Yes.
And that we have to build towards that. And how do we build towards that? We have to obviously have, like you're doing right now, have to have a political party that's mainly for the youths, because a lot of the youths are really the ones that are out there protesting and doing. They're the ones that really want to change. Their parents couldn't do it at their time for one reason or the other, but now the youth have to pull the bull by the horn, have that political party that's for the youths, by the youths. They have everybody must get their PVC. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I believe a lot of the things that we're talking about are already in plans. We just have to support their movement and hope that come 2020, if that will begin a new Nigeria, because a lot of the things that people have been facing, that are facing in Nigeria, we've been facing that before I was born.
I'm telling you, no lights, NEPA problem.
Right.
You understand?
Bad roads.
How can we still be having NEPA problem? And Nigeria is the richest generating GDP, richest country in Africa.
Right.
We have the Aliku Dangotes to the Ote dollars. We have big boys, and we have even those that even are richer than that. They don't still correct money, but they cannot be listed on Forbes.
Right.
So how are we still suffering? So even if it's not at that governmental level, like how come we can't get a contract? You know what I'm saying? Like, give me contract. We here. We already know the system. Do you understand? Yeah. All of you guys, look, you're a business administration. Most of you guys, even in the music industry, are highly educated. You understand? Yeah. How come they're giving Chinese contracts to come build shit in our country, but we cannot get contracts? Do you understand? To fix the lights in our own country. So things like that. So even if it's not necessarily at the political level, but within, like, you know what I'm saying, the infrastructure and the sector that, you know what I'm saying, that you're talented in, So whether it's business, whether it's engineering, whether you be lawyer, whether healthcare, whatever. Do you understand? Let's all of us just take I sector that we are the experts in, and we should just take over because these people they need to go.
Absolutely.
You understand?
Absolutely.
They need to by force. Today I was so sad when I heard Rollins. You know, one of my favorite presidents. People don't know, but people might think, oh, is harsh. I love JJ Rollins. He was a gangster, but that's what Africa needs. Our people, we don't need a soft
Right.
house. You understand? You know you have enemies. Do you understand? You know some godfathers. If you don't kill them, they're going to kill
Absolutely.
you. So it's better to take them out. Sometimes people will say spiritual warfare, but even in Bibeli, Mimo, they went to war and they kill people.
Yeah.
Because if you don't kill them, they're going to kill
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely.
So I like him. People thought he was a harsh military leader, but he got the job done. Shit, that's what, this is not America. Africa, we are Africans. Do you understand? Our people sometimes, you just need to deal with them very, very well. You know, these olden leaders, I went back, you know, Nigeria is 60 years old.
Yeah.
And I was shocked. I was going back and I was like, oh my God, these are the same old ass leaders, excuse my language, that has been ruling our country. Yeah. Most of them are older than Nigeria.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And they've been ruling twice. Yeah. Obasanjo, military ruler, now he's civilian. The current president Buhari, he was military, now he's civilian. This is out of 200 million Nigerians all over the world. These are the same garbage people. So why wouldn't we get garbage? You understand? Yeah. So what do you think? Because you have the best of both worlds. You grew up there, you went to high school there, you came here, you know what I'm saying? So you see things from, you know, two viewpoints, you know what I'm saying? So what do you think that we can do, even if you don't want to get into politics, but you know, it's like, okay, I'm an engineer, so I think that I can build, you know, infrastructure back in Nigeria. Like, how do you think that we can all come together and partner to really be a lifeline to our people back at home? Because I really think that the missing link is us in the diaspora helping to lift up our people back at home. So what do you think?
Well, I mean, it's only much that us in the diaspora can do because we are not there. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know, that political party is getting the right people in the right office. You know, that political party will get the youths. The youths are the ones that have that energy right now. You know, maybe a lot of people in diaspora, if they feel they can contribute whatever to Nigeria, maybe they need to move back because you can't really do anything once you're outside. You have to be inside to be able to do things. And, you know, the ones that are here, you just got to support the people that are back home in whatever way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I like the solidarity that people, young Nigerians around the world came together during the protest to make some noise. So that shows that, you know, people in diaspora are definitely in support of the youths in Nigeria as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So how can people, you know, get in touch with you if they want to do any collabos, if they want to host you? I see you're doing even virtual parties, you know, and shows and webinars. I was like, oh, I said, that's hot. So how can people get in touch with you, and what are some projects that you have working on, you know, so you can give a sneak peek of how people can support you and get in contact with you?
Well, I mean, you know, this whole pandemic, it has held a lot of us back, but I'm not gonna lie, I've been able to find the positive through the whole pandemic. You know, I'm the type of person that whatever challenging situation that I'm in, I try not to focus on the negatives. I figure out what the positive is and stop beating a dead horse and keep it moving. You know, so the pandemic allowed me to discover a virtual clubbing, a virtual partying experience called Club Survival. You know, I've had that since March, whereby a lot of people, about 40-50 people who consistently come on my virtual events. It could be Zoom, it could be Instagram, it could be Twitch. You know what I mean? So that's one of my biggest achievements during this pandemic. But everybody else can, you know, you can just Google DJ DeeMoney or follow me on Instagram at DJ DeeMoney. You know, I'm on Facebook as well, DJ DeeMoney. DeeMoney. I'm everywhere. Just Google, follow me. If you need my number, Google it. It's on there. You know what I mean? So
yes, so and we must support our people.
Definitely.
So I tell people I've tuned into your shows, and even, you know, I tell people, I say you can financially support a lot of our great DJs, you know, through their Cash App and and donate to them, because you guys, music really motivates us. A lot of us have been
Mm-hmm.
down, and just being, in the field of public health, this pandemic, of course,
Absolutely.
we're overworked and
Mm-hmm.
overstressed. So, you hear music, it really is calming, for the soul, and it's really, self-care and empowerment, to have, a live
Yeah.
DJ, you know what I'm saying, with hot music, and you do different fusions. So sometimes, I remember you even took us back old school, Afro
Yeah.
Juju. I said, is he playing Shino Peter? I said, Jesus,
Got to play something for everybody.
I was on a conference call like where I had to put it on mute because I had to dance to that. I was like, Jesus, yes,
Right.
this is it. So you got something for everybody.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? The old school people, and the new school. So I like how you do that. So
Definitely.
thank you
Thank you.
for your great work.
Thank you.
So I want to leave everybody with the African proverb of the week. It's from, of course, another legend, celebrity, Fela
Mm-hmm.
Kuti. So it says, if it's not fit to live in, then our job is to make
Right.
it fit. Once again, if it's not fit to live in, then
To
our
make
job
it
is to
fit.
make it fit. Yes, so all of us are change agents. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do you have any last
Nah,
words?
man, just keep
Let
keep
our
keep
people
keep
know.
doing what you do, and God will continue to bless you, and let's continue to uplift and elevate each other. Because your greatness is my
Yes.
greatness, my greatness is your greatness.
Yes, so bless up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Much love.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.